So let's discuss the while loops. So in the previous lecture, we spoke about while loops. And we said that the while loop will continue to iterate or run this block of code that's nested within it, as long as this condition is true here. So as long as I is smaller than 5, we will always execute this block of code here. So let's talk about do while loops. Now, do while loops will execute a block of code at least once until the condition is false, right? So at least once, even if the condition is false, it will execute at least once. So let's go do open close. So this is the stuff that we will execute. And let me just copy and paste this for demonstrative purposes. Let me replicate this. And then while, say while I is smaller than 5, right? And let me just refresh here. And this is what takes place. So it will execute. So in this case, it will go through the first loop, right? And then when it hits 5, it will stop. So this will stop executing this block of code. But now it will go to the do while loop and will execute at least once. So even though I is 5 here, so even though I is 5 when it enters, it will still execute this block of code. So let me just show you what this means. Let me just say here I is 5, for example. Now I is 5. So this condition is true, so it should not execute this while loop anymore. Rather, it should execute at least once this do while loop. So there we go. Our counter variable is now 5. So we're executing this do while loop, and we're executing these two console.log functions here and displaying, right? So just to make this more clear, let me just delete this while loop here. And now let me refresh again. And our counter variable. And let me just say here at least once. At least once. There we go. So I could set the variable here to be 115. Even though the condition here it must be less than 5, it will continue at least once. Even if the condition is false, it will continue at least once until such a time as this condition is true, is false. So for now, let me just start at 0 again. So this should continue normally up until 4, right? So at least once, it goes at least once, right? So it starts at 0 and it keeps going now. Now it will check this condition. Now let's execute at least once and it will stop at 4. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you very much. And also just make sure that you take note of this notation here. You start with do, open, close parentheses, you put your code that you want to execute here. Then while I is smaller than 5. And then you have to put a semicolon here. So just take note of that syntax. Thank you.